Good morning, everybody. And we stay today in a very warm Netherlands, in Amsterdam and in
Rotterdam, no?
Rotterdam. Rotterdam, a very beautiful, beautiful city with a great marathon. Before we start, I just want to welcome you, Mariette. I'm very happy. You're a very busy woman, and um, a very successful woman. If I look at your life and I'm thinking, I got this word of integration. So I feel that this discussion has also a theme of integration because you integrated so much in your life. But before we start, we have our centering exercise.
Yeah.
So let's go and close our eyes and just prepare ourselves for this sacred discussion by pausing to whatever was happening for us. So we prepare for the next experience and just connect to the breath and notice our breath, maybe and be thankful for our breath. And because today's theme is, among others, about integration, maybe we can focus on a mantra of integration. So on the breath in, just recite in your head. On the breath in, I integrate my breath, and on the out breath, with the rest of my being. So let's do it together 3 times. So breathe out wherever you are, and breathe in. I integrate my breath, breathing out with the rest of my being. Breathing in, I integrate my breath, breathing out with the rest of my being. One more time. I integrate my breath with the rest of my being. So let's rock and roll. So, for people that do not know Mariette Ham yet, Mariette is a very interesting woman, first of all, is a business coach for entrepreneurs with a focus on dentists. And I find fascinating because it's the perfect example how you can find your own niche in life and you can be very successful. And it can be anything. And for more than 20 years, Mariette has been helping dentists with great success to take their practice to a higher level, because there is always another level, as Ted Shaky says. With more than 30 years of experience as a owner of a leading clinic in periodontology, implantology, and endodontology, and a lot of dentology and aesthetic dentistry, Mariette can see in no time where the possibilities lie for the practice. And as the first business coach for the enterprising dentist, she can help them to generate more turnover, improve communication in their practice, build a self-managing team, and above all, ensure that people feel pleasure and love for the profession as a dentist and part of the team. Again, she wrote an awesome book. Let me put it this way, which I love the title, is in Dutch. By the way, we were thinking, shall we do this interview in Dutch or in English? But then we say, let's do it in English because we can reach many more people. The book is in Dutch. It's Word wakker tandarts, het is een bedrijf. So a dentist, wake up, it's a business. And I think this is a metaphor in the end, because I think this book can be used by many people irrespective of the profession, right? It's not, of course, it has this the focus on the dentist, but I think many of the concepts can be used by other entrepreneurs, right, Mariette? And
Yes.
welcome,
Yes.
and
Thank you.
welcome.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Yes, and we're gonna talk. Yeah, it's somehow this word of integration came to me, but of course, we can talk about the mindset. How is it going for you in this period? How is it going for entrepreneur? And what is your key for success in um, the importance of the mindset and the impact of the mindset on the entrepreneurs, on their life, on the team, and on the organization?
So you ask a
Uh,
lot of
uh,
questions in
I Exactly. So we're gonna start step
yeah.
by step, but
Yeah.
that's the thing. And before we start, another tradition is you live in Rotterdam. So tell us something short, which is beautiful about Rotterdam in the Netherlands.
So the city of Rotterdam, is
Yes,
the main city of Rotterdam has a lot of culture because it was bombarded by the Germans in the 40s, in 1940.
yes, yes.
So they built a lot of new buildings, and they have historical buildings, but also new buildings.
So it's a beautiful integration.
With a beautiful integration of a mix of cultures, mix. Rotterdam is also known as many cultures. We are, if I look in our own business about how many people have from different cultures in our team, it's amazing. So you learn a lot about the different cultures, and we learn also about how they, how we are integrate together and being together and have connection together. So that's part of Rotterdam. Also, Rotterdam is, if you have the main center, but around the main center, you have different parts of Rotterdam where you have also woods. And it's not only the city, it's like woods and water and also. So it's a beautiful city to go to and have some historic and fun shopping and etc. etc. It's really neat.
Nice. Plus a great marathon, right?
Yes,
A great
also.
marathon.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's a good one.
yeah.
So, Mariette, we're gonna start, and I go a lot with my intuition when asking questions, and again, integration comes a lot, right? You run a team of 20 plus people, right? Together with your husband, 40 people,
Yes,
and
40 plus.
if
Yeah,
I look at 40 plus, so
yeah,
and you talk with different cultures, so you have also the cultural aspect in integrating. I was reading your book, and I thought your mom came from a family of 13 children. And
yes.
then, did I read correctly that you come from a family of 12? Or so in
No, no,
anyway,
no.
it was a big. So
My,
your father 12.
yeah,
So they kind of, in a practical way, learned to do some team management there.
yeah.
And tell me how this it come, how this impacted your own family life.
so,
Um,
so my as a childhood, my own family life, my father was really protecting me because they were telling each other. My mom and dad told each other like, so we came of a family poor with a lot of children, but we had fun, and it was just fun and pleasure with all of them, but also hard work and
yes.
really hard work. And so they told each other they want, if they have to choose the children, the amount of children. Now let me put this down. The
Yeah, it's
amount,
okay.
yeah, the amount of children, then they will go for 2 children. So I have a brother, and I'm on my own, and my parents worked really hard. So my father, in July, he will become 87.
Beautiful.
They worked very hard. Both of them, they worked very hard. So I think the way I perform now, or what we done, has to do where I came from, and
Yeah,
that's impacted my life. My father had 2 jobs, and also make long hours, and
yeah,
try to be with us as well as his work. So that's, yeah,
yeah.
that's what we do. Yeah.
So you started in 1989 with this clinic. You started to build up the clinic together with your husband. Was that 1989?
90,
Something like that.
and we started
Yes.
two clinics.
Two clinics.
Yes, together.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you start building up a team. So tell me about the importance of building a strong team when you look to building a strong business.
Yeah, so in the years of 1989, we didn't know. So Elvin and I, my husband, didn't know what we were doing. We had nothing. He was finished with his university, and he had a periodontist university in Germany. And then so we had to start from scratch on. So I was working somewhere else, but there was so much going on because patients were coming in, and there was no marketing, there was no social media, at that time there was no computer at that moment. So we had to do it by our own hands and to figure out by ourselves. So we did what we did, and we did well. And also hiring people and start from scratch on. So the first one came, you have to, when you start a business, then you have to think about your cash flow. How are you doing that? And then
cash is king.
Yeah. There's a lot of aspects to start a business, to work on. And then, so for now, if I now start a business, I know now which steps I have to make to start a business. It's a whole different game. And, so we started with one employee. It was a hygienist because she was working on the patients and my husband was working on the patients. And patients came in, and they need bills. And we need some systems to do a lot of things like, okay, she was in, how she need a paycheck, she need this, she needs this. So a lot of things were coming on, and we figured out by doing.
So you did trial and error. So just share some of the main lessons that you learn in terms of mindset, and also in terms of the mindset of building a successful team.
So if building a successful team is starting to know what's going on in yourself and what do you want for a team. So make your vision clear about not only your business, but also make your vision clear about your team. And we are doing that with visualizing and that kind of thing. But what kind of people do you want? And what kind of people do you need? And what kind of people do you need for the job? That's the main part, because the big lesson I learned, if someone is nice, then I hire him. But not all nice people were
suitable for the job.
No. So that's the main lesson I learned. Like, okay, figure out what kind of job you want to do them, and go after the right person, and then look also for their skills.
Yes.
Etc. And that's the main lesson building a team. And also figure out when you have a little small team and you want to build it bigger, then there is another energy is coming on. So there's another dynamic. And you have also stay in the center, like what's going on with these energies, what are playing, the different behavior profiles, what are they doing, what are they good at, what are their qualities, what are that kind of stuff you need to figure out. I think if I knew that before, in the past, it saved us a lot of money. And also it saved us a lot of tears, because I was also sometimes disappointed why I couldn't figure out at that moment. And in the years, I learned so much that I can now see what's going on with one person, and I can fit them in the team. So, and it's all about connection. You want to have your team connected to each other, not only to you, but also to themselves, and with them.
So we yes, we live interesting times, right? So
Yeah,
the dynamic of the COVID-19 and everything. So
yeah,
how did you, and you mentioned also having a multicultural time.
yeah.
We live in times of polarization. How did you deal with this in creating this cohesion during those times, and especially when you have also these conflicts based on culture, based on on what's going on, especially when there is also a risk of diminishing business, right, during these times.
Yeah.
How did you handle this?
So yeah. But you are in your introduction. You were talking about mindset and
Yes,
implementing your
yes,
mindset.
yes,
And we know, we from the Tony Robbins scene, we know where focus goes, energy flows. So
yes,
you have to manage your state. And the first moment when this has happened, then you are reacting like you are reacting like fear. What's going on? How to handle it? Because knowing the road ahead at that moment was not possible, because it came and it was, and we were
yes,
locked down, and that was
yes,
it. And so we had to act on what we could do now at this moment. And mostly, I think the most important thing, we were reaching out to our people and talk to them and have these conversations with them.
so with the team members, you mean?
Yes, yes. What do they need? What do they? Because at one moment we had to work again, and then we had to face also COVID-19 in our organization, and how can we implement the strategic, logistics,
Logistics, yeah.
yes, of helping our patients, and for them, how they can help them without fear. Because if they help patients with fear, and that's in every business, if you help someone with fear, then that's a different energy as that you help and you have your focus on helping and taking
Yes,
care of taking care of someone. So
yeah,
that was my main focus at that moment. How can I take care of the people, and how can we take care of the people so they feel comfortable, and also for their own families,
yes,
they can do what they need to do and
yeah,
help the impact of what they can do. It's I focus especially on what impact can you have in this time.
yeah.
What can you?
So Mariette, if I come to your business, to your clinic, and I go and talk to people, do they know what the vision and what the mission actually of their company is?
Yes, they know.
Okay. Would you like to
You have,
talk a little bit of the importance
yeah,
of
because yeah,
knowing and living this?
yeah, go and live in it. It's so it's really important. I in this time, I am really proud of our team, because we see what they are capable of. It's more than I thought or we think. Also, they can more, they do more, and they want more to do for you and for the organization and for themselves. So if we have a new one on board, then we have this onboarding, and also step by step. But it's also the first moments they are in the business, and it's also by our talk when we hire them. We are talking about our culture. We are talking about our values. We are talking about our mission, our vision. We are talking about it, so they know about what our dental is, and how our dental minded is, and what we are doing, and what impact we have on our patients. It's not about the work they do, it's about the impact they have. And that's
Yeah,
for us as business coaches, but for you also as a coach, as it's personal,
yeah,
it's relationship, and it is the business together that makes the connection to
yeah.
drive forward.
So, would you like to share maybe with the audience, besides having this onboarding and having deep discussions, because it's a different kind of discussion when you take somebody new and you start going about the mission, why do you exist, and where you want to go as a vision, and what are the living values and everything. How would you advise entrepreneurs to make those aspects living in the business? Or do you have any visuals in your environment? Or how do you make sure that people are connecting with those values, with the mission, with the vision on a daily basis?
On a daily basis, we have to live them by ourselves. So
Yes.
I have also a team, a couple of people in a team, and they are specially trained by me and also together to live this vision. And they, if you have a couple of them, they spread for the rest also. That's the one thing we do. Yes, we do training in our company. Yes, it's really for, I think, for every business, every practice. It's not only I'm a business coach for my own business, but it's also I'm a business coach for other businesses also.
Yes.
Also for dentists who I help. And that's the same way I do. Make it visual, give the trainings, communicate, ask questions. It's not only about how are you today, it's about how are you doing now and how are you doing in the future. What is your future? How can you manage your future in our future? Is this the same path we want to walk together? And the why, if they know the why and they see which impact they have by themselves, then
Yes.
different thing.
Yeah.
Different energy.
Right. The why, it's crucial, knowing your why. So you have more than one people. You start experiencing external conflicts as well. How do you deal in your organizations with conflict? Are you somebody that is scanning the environment and kill the monster as it's small, or what's your approach? And here's the thing: conflict is not necessarily something bad, because it can bring an amazing amounts of creativity. You run a multicultural team. What's your approach on this one?
So
And the mindset?
yes, but you give the answer already. Kill the monster if it's small, and teach your people they kill it when it's small.
When it's small.
Yes, not only I kill it when it's small because I am feeling. I'm just feeling it. I feel this energy going
Yes.
on, and there's
Yeah.
something going on. So I ask questions, but I teach also my team to kill it also and feel it also. So if they have something or they notice something, ask the right question. Ask what's going on. Or I noticed that. Is this what I noticed? Is this okay? Is this what it is?
Yeah.
And then they can respond, and then you can have a conversation. Make it small and not that big, because if you have conflicts, some people are making conflicts in the way of energetic reactors. And you need these conflict reactors in your business. So if you give them the appreciation, what they do,
And what do you mean? Can you explain for people that might not understand what do you mean by energetic reactors?
Now, an energetic reactor is looking for improvement in all kind of areas. And they do it sometimes in a way of confronting, or if you are not knowing this, then you are thinking, "Ooh, she is constantly, or he is constantly nagging, or complaining, or that kind of things." But that's a cry for help.
Yes.
And if you really listen to them, or her or she, then you know what's going on. And then if you can turn this around, then they're helping you to improve the team and the environment and the company, everything.
So let the ego and bring the curiosity in, right?
Yeah.
So
Throw it over your shoulder. No ego. No ego.
yeah. Mariette, you are also a very successful business coach. So when you work with companies, with entrepreneurs, where you have co-leaderships or co-ownerships, conflicts appear. What would you advise when there are conflicts at the top? So the let's say the starters, because you have your partner, which is your husband, which is we can talk about this because it's very interesting, and you've been successful for so many years and have a happy marriage. But let's say that you have owners, entrepreneurs,
Yeah.
and then you have conflicts at the top.
Yeah. That's really bad, because
How you handle this? It's just a complex one, but yeah.
The first thing is you have to build trust. first thing you have to do is they have to build trust, and they need help from someone outside the
Yes.
company. And then you can work with a program or some kind of, but they need trust.
Yeah.
And then you can handle the conflict if they have the trust and they are open to speak, and you can guide them into a platform of safety.
Yeah.
And then they can open up, and then they can tell their story.
Part
Why?
of the story. Yeah.
Yes.
Because the thing is, you need an external party to to create a safe place where people can be themselves. Because many times, and I'm sure you've noticed this, you talk to people that have conflict at the level of behavior, but the intention is the same.
Exactly.
So but
Yeah,
when you are so into the narrow mind, narrow focusing on the issue, you forget the intention, right?
the intention, but also if there's some big conflict is on the top, in the top level, it has so much impact on the rest of the people. On
Team, yes.
it's really I helped two guys in this issue, so and sometimes, or the most of the time, they don't know which impact it has. So they thinking, they know not, no, they don't see this, or they
Yeah,
notice it, but
you feel it.
no. At the
Yeah.
same time, they are not talking to each other, or they have no. They are doing nothing. Like
Yeah.
only they are having distance to each other.
Yes.
Then the first thing is they have to want it. They have to
Yes.
want to work on it. So, and they have to know what's going on with the team, but also what's going on with the business. And if they are working that way, and they are have this ego going on and make this ego bigger, then the business is going down.
Yes.
And
So you need to you help them also increase the level of their awareness and the unintended consequences also on the business.
yes, and you have to face, you have to um, let them see them that this is happening, and feel them that this is happening. This is what's going on. It's not only you. It's not about you, because they are thinking about themselves.
Yes.
They are only thinking about themselves. That's the ego also. They are thinking about themselves. And if they are letting that go, and they are open to work with
Yeah.
someone outside who
Yeah.
is capable of handling conflicts and is not afraid, that's a big thing. Because if you have someone outside and is afraid of conflicting or confrontating or provocation or some kind of thing, then you have also a problem. So you need someone who
Yeah.
knows what to do and build trust,
Yeah.
and with a loving energy. Like,
Yeah.
okay, you both there
Absolutely.
are both these issues. Let's talk. Let's feel what's going on and see what's hurting you, not only in the behavioral way, but also in your values, in your identity, in your all kind of levels you have.
Yes.
Yeah.
And another important aspects, I'm sure you coach people on, it's also when we are in a stress mode, we get so narrow focus on the issues. It's difficult to have a broader view and a broader perspective and to think about others. So we get into that mode, oh my God, what they are doing to me. It's the tiger, instead of what's my role in this. So it's also the importance of helping people, giving them tools also to show up and relax themselves, and then relax their brain and their body.
Yes. It's like medicine you state. It's like also reflecting on your physical. What are you doing? Reflecting on what are you talking to yourself in your head constantly? What are you assume constantly?
Exactly.
Also, where you focus. Where is your focus going? Is it going on helping? Is it going on forward, or is it going on success, or is it going on? That's a different kind of energy, as that you are also in the business focus on depression or fear or it's not going to work, and all the limiting beliefs you can also make up or imagine what it is. Yes, there's a lot as not only as a business coach. You have to work not only in the business, you have to work also on the entrepreneur, and you have also the people. And the people is not building a team like we build a team. It's like the individuals, how they function, how they have, what are the beliefs, what do they have, etc., etc.
Yes. You build a successful business, and you work with your husband. So any tips from, you have a happy marriage, you guys are grandparents, beautiful. You don't look like a grandmother, but you're the cool one. It's interesting, you guys you build a business with your husband, so you are kind of, I would not say 24/7, but it's going in that direction.
No, we are
And
not. We are not 24/7 with each other
so
because
tell us a bit about, that how would you, yes.
so he's downstairs and he is up. We have separate tasks in the business. So, like we started, Elvin is doing his patients and what's going on around the patients, and I'm building on the team, and I'm doing some RH work, and I have these conversations and that kind of things. That's my part. So we have. I think the one tip is that separate the things that you have to do in the business. That you have to separate that. And then the other thing is, if you work so hard together, then you have to communicate. That's really, really good. So that's necessary to talk to each other and also be open to each other. What's going on? It's not only about business. And in my own experience, we had the moment that we recognized by ourselves that it was only the business, and we had no conversation on a different level,
on the private part.
On the private part. Yes. So when we discovered that, we knew we had to work on that. So, and we're still working on that constantly, because
that's very important for the couples, entrepreneurs in the same business. Yeah.
Yes, you have to make time and also change roles. So your role behavior. I am in this business. Sometimes I'm the director. Sometimes I am the coach. Sometimes I am just a friend who's talking. But my role at home is to be a wife. It's to be also a mom. And now I'm a grandma. So that's a different role. So I changed literally clothes when I open the door and I say hello, and I'm walking to the bathroom and I change clothes because it's physical.
That's like a ritual also.
Yes,
yes,
that's for me a ritual. That's what I'm doing. Yeah. And
then among other things, because you did a lot of personal inquiry and personal development work, right? To get to that state.
Yes, also.
You can kill a marriage, right? The business can kill a marriage.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. They can kill a marriage. And they can also kill not only your marriage, but also your relationship with your children. Can kill also. And that's not what you want. That's not you have to be aware of it. And then if if you recognize it and you be aware of it, you can reorganize.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm curious about, you as a woman, how have you navigated, combining, integrating the personal aspect as a mother, the wife, and the successful business? Because it's not easy. Women, especially women, and and men as well. It's difficult to find that sweet spot and then have that level of satisfaction. Yeah. So can you share a couple of tips that that you learn from your trial and error?
Yeah, from my trial and error, I think that for me it's just take also time for myself. I'm a person who wants to be doing everything for someone else and doing and helping others, But if you forget yourself, then you can't help another. So you have to be aware of what's going on in yourself. And sometimes you are not in the state of happy, but then you can choose. You can choose how what you want. You can choose,
Where to put focus on, right?
yeah, yeah, where your focus is going. And if I want to stay a whole day in this mood, I can, but I can also tell myself, okay, 5 minutes, it's over. Let's go and focus on something else. Be grateful.
Yeah.
The gratitude exercise, like thinking 5 minutes, just 5 minutes, focus on yourself and focus on gratitude or something like that. Breathing, like that kind of thing. That's what I'm doing. Meditate.
Yeah.
In the morning, meditate. I wake up early and it's too early to go, step out, and then I meditate.
And then you get your energy shot as well, right?
And I
Through
get my
the
energy.
energy,
But
through
also
the
my
meditation.
mindset is
Your
different.
mindset. Yes.
Different.
Yes.
Like, oh, I'm tired. Or, okay, it's your new day. Let's look. Let's see.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wonderful. It's fascinating talking to you, and we are coming towards our end. If you would like, from what we discuss or from whatever inspiration, to let us with 3 things to make an entrepreneur successful and successful as you define it, because you define it in a holistic way by integrating private and professional. If you can give 3 thoughts that we can remember, that are very important to you in this
So
area.
I think on a personal level, as an entrepreneur, you have to know what you want. You have to know your vision, not only from a business perspective, but also from your personal perspective.
Yes.
That's the first thing I knew. No, that's the first tip also. But I want to also mention some energy. That's also a big part of it. If your energy is low, then there's nothing coming out. If your energy are high, then you can produce. And there's sometimes you have neutral energy. It's perfect. It's fine. But be aware what's going on in yourself. That's a
Yeah.
personal aspect. I think in the business aspect, it's not about you. It's not about you. It's about the team. It's about the people you help.
Yes.
Take care of them. And
Yeah.
then if you take care of yourself, you can take care of them also as well. Then they know.
Yeah.
Then they want to work also for you. They want to help you. They want to be with you. And
Yeah.
the third thing in the relationship part is like, be aware of what's going on. How much time do you have for each other, and how much time do you take for each other?
Yeah.
Because it can be 5 minutes and it's enough, but make also have an agreement about that. Tell each other, what do you need, what do you want,
Yeah.
and manage that. That's the
Yeah.
things I want to say.
Beautiful. We didn't talk about clients, but I have if you do all these things
Yeah,
and you take care of your team, of course the clients will be happy, because your team will perform to their best, right?
yeah,
But that's for another discussion, Mariette. I hope you come back, and then we can go deeper into other aspects of business or life. I loved having you here and sharing your experience, your wisdom, and thank you for your vulnerability. I hope you enjoy it.
yes.
And I'll see you next time. Thank you. Thank you so much for everything. And everybody have a beautiful day. Enjoy the weather. Whether is good or bad, because that will shall pass. Nothing
Yeah,
stays the same.
yeah.
Thank you so much, Mariette. And with this, we gonna close this one, and then I'll take in my heart and in my mind all the lessons and beautiful energy of exchange, and then we let this behind and we go forward to our life.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, and everybody have a wonderful day. See you tomorrow. Mariette, see you next time.
See you
Thank
next
you.
time. Bye bye.